And thanks everybody for joining us on this lunch and learn about monitoring. Just very quick introductions. Debbie, who has kindly set this up, is our head of UK marketing. I'm the head of sales in the UK for managed services, and Gorjan, who is coming in from North Macedonia, and is joining us because it's his team that actually works with the customers to develop the actual monitoring solution. So just a very quick introduction, and then we'll get into the solution itself properly. So what we're going to talk about today is proactive managed services, the introduction to monitoring, what it covers, and some of the benefits. So just very simple introduction into the solution. So why are we doing this? What is it that's important about monitoring? Well, a lot of you will look at this and recognize your own businesses. And basically what we're saying here is that from a complexity perspective, and not only are our customers' businesses getting more and more complex, and the requirements that they're asked to deliver to their customers are getting more complex, the actual solutions required to support the business are also getting more complex and more comprehensive. And if we look at Dynamics 365, which all of you will have, we know that it's not only now from a finance and operations perspective, but there's also the CE element, as we can see with sales and marketing and field service. But we've also got the whole Power Platform, and also the elements pertaining to the Power BI and data and analytics. And all of this now needs to be joined up to be able to deliver real value to the business. And as a partner, and a Microsoft partner, HSO has got to rethink about how we actually look at our managed services. And we've built a very successful model on delivering proactive services and also break fix. But now HSO is entering into a new way of working across the globe from a managed services perspective, in terms of being able to actually deliver solutions, not only from the UK, but also using the wider HSO and the centres of excellence that we're setting up. And what's behind all of this is really our customers' request of us to help deliver continuous improvement and continuous delivery. Okay, so that's really a key point that underpins the whole managed services message and our transformation of this is this continuous delivery, continuous improvement, continuous integration, as you can see on the screen. And one of the key tenets to being able to do this is actually the monitoring service, and actually being able to proactively monitor your application and deliver value to you, either to your team so that you can actually fix whatever challenges the platform has, or seamlessly HSO can do that for you. So that's really just a very brief introduction as to why we're really looking to do this. So I want you to think about continuous improvement when we are and continuous delivery when we go through this. Okay, so without further ado, as they say, Gorjan, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi everyone. As Brian already introduced me, I come from North Macedonia. However, within HSO, we call it HSO Global Services. Our headquarters are in North Macedonia, but we are focused on finding the best people within Eastern Europe and India. There is also office in India that is serving that part of the region. And the idea is to find the best people from that part of the world and Eastern Europe as well, and get them on board to work for HSO as a support to what HSO entities are doing to accelerate the growth and the quality of the services for HSO customers worldwide. We work with UK, we work with HSO International Office, we work with the Netherlands, with US, China, Japan, and so on. And along the road, that was even a time when I wasn't part of HSO yet. In 2008, HSO Global Services identified that for some of the customers within UK, International, Netherlands mainly, the big three, we call them within HSO, there is a need for a Microsoft SCOM monitoring, so-called, or monitoring of the on-premise environments. And that monitoring solution started with only the basis of monitoring, just environments and some services. In 2009, it was batch monitoring added, number sequences, DMFs, and some custom monitoring projects. And this wasn't only in 2009, it just started and it lasted for almost a decade. However, in 2019, a bunch of people within HSO worldwide created HSO collected a group of, let's say, the best people within the field and created and set up the ambitions and dreams about the future of the monitoring solution. And that was a moment when everyone realized that everything is going to be switched to cloud. So there was the ambitions were set in terms of creating a technical solution that will replace the SCOM monitoring, which was pure technical solution, but also an idea of building a functional monitoring tool, including a possibility to do a business process monitoring. In 2020, there were first customers, and they were mainly for the technical solution. That means infrastructure, monitoring of batches, and so on. In 2021, the solution was extended to D365 FNO number sequences as well as used to be with SCOM, more metrics on the batch monitoring and similar. That's when I joined this project. And since 2022, I'm the product owner of this solution as well. And we continued with development and redevelopment of some of the features. That's also when I started working closely with Brian, and then we realized, okay, we are constantly building, as Brian just showed in his previous slide, about continuous improvements and continuous delivery of services to HSO customers. But we need to be very well aligned in terms of what are our customer needs and how do we deliver them. So I have the team within HSO, but our customers are worldwide, so we have to get the feedback. And mainly that's the reason why Brian is organizing this session. I will continue further to explain you a little bit the solution, so we have a better idea, and then we'll have a couple of minutes for questions and answers. What is HSO monitoring tool? It is a tool consistent of different monitoring capabilities that are stated here, and we call them service modules. We have the UO monitoring, of course. We are currently extending to the CE monitoring. That's on the roadmap, and actually on the next sprint, which starts on the 4th of October, we start with official development of CE monitoring. There is already analytics monitoring. Actually, we are currently working on version 2.0. The first one was limited only to data factory monitoring, but we already added a lot of features. Then ISVs monitoring, that's something that's quite customer specific, but it's there. We have done it for many customers and we are able to do it. And then of course, the platform support or infrastructure as a service or platform as a service. Brian, can you go to the next slide? Yeah. Okay, so since 2020, I would say, since the solution is live, we have 25 unique clients worldwide that are using 68 different service modules. We have dashboarding capabilities for the easy visualization of the monitoring results for the customers, but also for the team that is delivering support on the alerts. The solution is quite extendable, is using the newest Microsoft technology, and is able to be adapted for per customer specific needs. And this was mainly happening on analytics and CE monitoring so far. There is also a Power App connection already, which means we have the data in Power Apps, and we can provide some Power Apps that are using this data as customer specific projects in terms of improved dashboards or other crazy ideas that we all might have sometimes to provide better monitoring support. And as one example would be the business process monitoring. Then, yeah, just one more second. Sorry, Brian. The previous one.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then we already have a demo or MVP on the business process monitoring, which was built for one of as a suggestion for one of our biggest customers worldwide, and one of them was Heineken. Yeah, you can go to the next one. Okay, so how the solution works and what is the solution approach? So HSO use a Microsoft Azure cloud-based integration platform as a development accelerator with a proven experience of integrating Microsoft business applications and third-party applications. So what does it mean in practice is that the traditional approach would be HSO consultant who start analyzing and who start working within DevOps, building logic apps, understanding the solution, working together with the solution architects, building different logic apps, function apps, to integrate all the integrations that each company is using. We all know that it's not only Microsoft solutions or even different Microsoft solutions combined. And then working and using different Microsoft connectors, services to send emails, to send alerts, and so on and so on. And basically, that is what we are doing today. But we do not choose the traditional approach where we do this for each customer and then it takes months and months and it's very expensive. We created this development accelerator where we store everything within the customer subscription for the purposes, for the sake of security. But we have pipelines that we use through DevOps where we push the solution directly to the customer subscription, which allows us to set up the solution in days instead of months and a lot of consultancy hours of work. Then we maintain the solution for the customers. When there is a bug, we fix it, and then the customer gets subscription-based solution. The solution is fully extendable. It's something that as you grow, you can scale it, and we can build and develop additional customer-specific solution for you while you focus on your business value. And then, as I mentioned before, it's based on the newest Microsoft technologies, Microsoft services, and then there is a team within HSO that is following these services when Microsoft, and we all know, from time to time choose to discontinue with something or replace, let's say, BYOD with data lake or other such examples. There's already a team that analyzed this and created a plan how to bypass that and provide the continuity of the solution. And the best part is the pay-as-you-go model, which means in the previous slide, I showed that we have a certain number of customers, but twice the number of service modules, which means as a customer, you can choose to monitor only infrastructure if that's your need. But you can, and as you grow, you can choose to add another service module and monitor integrations. But you pay as you go, without, even though the solution is ready for providing much more than what you're currently using. If you go to the next slide, Brian. Yeah, this slide is important to show you how the modules are integrated. The same modules that I explained before are showing two segments. On the far right, there is operations and 24/7 team. We have a 24/7 team that not only provides, so when we talk about cloud monitoring solution, and what I just explained is the solution itself, which means that HSO build a tool that you can use to monitor, get email alerts, get alerts within Azure Monitor, and on various different dashboardings. You can see the alerts and then you can take proactive actions, or you can choose to open a case within my HSO for someone within the UK team to fix it for you. However, I think the biggest value of the monitoring is the proactive monitoring, which means while you are sleeping and you don't have someone working, there is a problem happening in the middle of the night. There is an alert that will pop up. We can't guarantee that we will solve it because sometimes it's very unique and customers specific. But we can definitely at least create a root cause analysis, work on the problem, provide all the necessary data, open up a case, inform you, and prepare another consultant or someone from your team to immediately pick this up in the morning while having all the necessary information. But we went even further, and for infrastructure monitoring, we have a very well prepared team that basically if there is a disk space or CPU problem in the middle of the night, the team will add more disk space, will fix the infrastructure problem, and your environments will have the continuity, and when you come in the morning, you won't even notice. We also built a very experienced team within UO or FNO, and then we just this year we just started with building and adding more experience within the integrations monitoring. And there's the same plan for the analytics and the CE. The ISVs are a different story. They're very customer specific, and we have to have very customer specific knowledge. However, for the proactive monitoring part, the team is able to get trained, to get a knowledge transferred to them. And then we create so-called first aid kit documents where the team, together with you, works on this first aid kit document and get your details, ideas, how do you want some problems to be solved. And we collect some problems that happened in the past that might happen in the future as well. And when there is a problem, the team can open that first aid kit document and work for that one. And in many situations, after a while, the team is getting very well around the system, and they are able to fix the problems in the middle of the night. However, for the purposes of transparency and then easier communication and identifying of the problems, we developed the dashboards, which currently are showing here that we have the dashboard for the platform support, for the F&O and integrations monitoring at the moment, but we're expanding the other service modules also to have their own dashboards. I will show the dashboards in the slides later on. The DevOps pipelines is what I mentioned before, and that's the ability to push the solution within your subscription without spending a lot of time in development. And that's also where we want the solution to be. And the business analytics module is already getting onboarded to the DevOps pipelines since of this sprint. Yeah, and then on top of this, HSO is building their own HSO monitoring framework, which means we want to excel even further within a functional monitoring, which means we are creating a framework within our global organization where each developer, when developing a new feature, will follow the guidelines, the framework for the monitoring when developing something within F&O. And this framework would allow us in the future, if the customer wants to get something monitored, that's already in a certain table, on a certain way, we call it monitor ready, within log analytics, and then our monitoring team can just attach to that one and start reading this data and creating alerts for you. Yeah, now you can go to the next one, Brian. Okay, so this is what we can monitor today. This is a table that can give you an idea, and I think Brian will share this presentation at the end of this meeting. But also, and I'm going to click, Brian, you have to click on the fact sheet here. Not sure if you have access though.
No, no problem.
Okay. I will just explain it. The fact sheet we can send it to, is a spreadsheet which explains even in more details. When we say about batch monitoring, what does it mean? Or number sequences monitoring, what does it mean? Let's say for the batch monitoring, we have details on what metrics we monitor. For example, we have a threshold time, and we can monitor a long-running batch. So if the threshold time is exceeded, you will get an alert that the batch is running too long. If another threshold time is exceeded, you can get alert that that batch job ran into error, and so on. We will also send you the fact sheet to give you more idea what we can do and what we can monitor. If you go to the next slide, Brian. Yeah, this is just an example of an alert. And this specific alert is a data lake error. So if you start using data lake and there is an alert, you will get the affected storage account, the affected container, and affected blob. So if you have a consultant on shift by yourself or by HSO, they can just get the alert and they already have an idea where to dig in for the problem and how to solve it. Or our team can have these details, access to your system if you choose for proactive monitoring, and they can start fixing it for you. On the next slide, there is an example, another alert example for a logic app. So this, for example, is showing how many of the logic app runs run into error or failed and how many were successful. And then you have the alerts created by each run, and then what's the status if it was terminated or something else. And also a link to lead to the logic app. The next one will show a dashboard. This specific dashboard is a dashboard that we are using for UO monitoring, RFNO. It is showing the errors and the trends, and is also available in the subscription of each customer already. This is out of the box. The most important thing that we have to mention, and I mentioned before as well, is that all the data stays within the customer subscription. All HSO is doing is using the connection, push the data through the pipelines, as I mentioned, and then everything is within your subscription. There is only one connection that has to be done between FNO and your subscription. So from security purposes, we use the best practices of Microsoft, and then we created these dashboards. However, HSO is not providing only these out-of-the-box dashboards, but we are able to build additional to adapt these dashboards per your needs. The next slide is also dashboard. These are integrations dashboard showing, let's say, alerts fired per resource group, which means it will show how many logic app alerts there were, or function apps, or API management alerts, key vaults, service bus, and so on. Next slide is also the same integration dashboard per resource group in this specific situation, how many alerts there were per resource group, and if they were logic apps or function apps. You can see it in the second graph. Yeah, you can go to the next one, Brian. Okay, so as Brian explained already, we are continuously working on improvement and adding new features. What is on the roadmap for 2024? We are constantly improving the integrations monitoring because it's very hot topic, and the way Microsoft is and the world is going is that we are all dependent of multiple different small companies that provide some services and softwares that we are using, and we need them integrated and working as intended originally, and we have to monitor them. We are delivering CE monitoring MVP, which is very strongly defined in details, and will be started to be delivered from October. Then during the year 2024, we will continue with version 2. There is also business process monitoring that we, as I mentioned before, we created a demo for the business process monitoring, and now we already have a lot of customer specific requests, and we are expecting more customer specific requests on adapting it to make it useful for the customers. Then we are enhancing the data lake, the Synapse, and the data factory monitoring, considering that data lake is something that a lot of customers are shifting towards as BYOD will be retired. And then we are also building an Azure cost monitoring, where we want to monitor the Azure resources that the customer is using, provide suggestions, and and provide solutions, and then save money for the customer in Azure that show up as a cost from Azure resources on a monthly basis. There are also planned customer-specific project on dashboarding and custom alerting, like error log alerting, for example, and so on. That are already in the last 2 years, which we have seen that a constant request.